Influenza, or the flu, is a viral infection that affects the respiratory system, nose, throat, lungs. The most common symptoms of the flu include 1. Fever. 2. Cough. 3. Sore throat. 4. Body aches. 5. Headache. 6. Fatigue. 7. Nasal congestion. Less common symptoms can include 1. Vomiting. 2. Diarrhea. The symptoms of the flu can range from mild to severe, and can sometimes lead to serious complications, such as pneumonia. If you think you may have the flu, it is important to see a doctor as soon as possible, as antiviral medication may be prescribed to help reduce the severity and duration of the illness. There are 4 types of influenza viruses. A, B, C, and D. Influenza A and B viruses are responsible for most outbreaks of influenza, while influenza C viruses typically cause mild illness and influenza D viruses primarily affect cattle. Influenza A viruses are divided into subtypes based on 2 proteins on the surface of the virus, hemagglutinin, H, and neuraminidase, N. There are 18 known hemagglutinin subtypes and 11 known neuraminidase subtypes. Influenza B viruses are not divided into subtypes. Influenza A viruses are found in many different animal species, including birds, pigs, and humans. Influenza A viruses are responsible for pandemics, which are global outbreaks of disease. Influenza B viruses are found only in humans. The flu viruses are constantly changing, so people can get the flu more than once. This is because the viruses can mutate, or change, over time. This is why it is important to get a flu vaccination every year. The vaccine is formulated to protect against the most common strains of the virus that are expected to circulate during the flu season. If you have influenza, there are several things you can do at home to help manage your symptoms and feel better. 1. Get plenty of rest. Resting will help your body fight off the infection and will also help you feel better overall. 2. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of fluids, such as water, broth, and electrolyte beverages, to help replace fluids lost due to fever and sweating. 3. Take over-the-counter medications. Pain relievers, such as acetaminophen or ibuprofen, can help reduce fever and body aches. 3. Decongestants and nasal sprays can help relieve nasal congestion. 4. Stay away from others. To prevent the spread of the virus, it is important to stay home from work or school and avoid close contact with others until you are no longer contagious. 5. Use a humidifier. Dry air can irritate the respiratory system and make symptoms worse. 5. Using a humidifier can help to moisten the air and make breathing easier. If your symptoms are severe or if you are at high risk of complications from the flu, your doctor may prescribe antiviral medication to help reduce the severity and duration of the illness. It is important to follow your doctor's instructions and take all prescribed medications as directed. Influenza can be deadly. While most people recover from the flu without complications, some people are at higher risk of serious complications or death from the flu. These include 1. Children younger than 5 years old. 2. Adults 65 years of age and older. 3. Pregnant women. 4. People with certain underlying medical conditions, such as asthma, diabetes, or heart disease. Complications of the flu can include pneumonia, bronchitis, sinus infections, and ear infections. The flu can also exacerbate underlying medical conditions and can lead to hospitalization or death. It is important to take the flu seriously and to take steps to prevent the spread of the virus. This includes getting vaccinated every year, washing your hands frequently, and avoiding close contact with sick individuals. If you think you may have the flu, it is important to see a doctor as soon as possible, as antiviral medication may be prescribed to help reduce the severity and duration of the illness. It is not accurate to say that some influenza epidemics have been more effective than others. Influenza epidemics are outbreaks of disease caused by the influenza virus, and all influenza epidemics have the potential to cause serious illness and death. That being said, some influenza epidemics have had a greater impact on human health than others. The most famous influenza epidemic in history is probably the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918-1919, which is estimated to have infected 1/3 of the world's population and killed tens of millions of people. Other significant influenza epidemics include 1. The H1N1 pandemic of 2009, which was caused by a new strain of the influenza virus and affected people in many countries around the world. 2. The H3N2 pandemic of 1968, which was also caused by a new strain of the influenza virus and resulted in hundreds of thousands of deaths. 3. The H2N2 pandemic of 1957, which was caused by a new strain of the influenza virus and resulted in millions of deaths worldwide. It is important to note that influenza epidemics can be prevented through vaccination and other public health measures. It is also important to recognize that all influenza epidemics have the potential to cause serious illness and death and should be taken seriously. Coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is not the same as influenza. COVID-19 is a respiratory illness caused by the novel coronavirus, which was first identified in 2019. Influenza is a respiratory illness caused by the influenza virus. While both COVID-19 and influenza are contagious respiratory illnesses that can cause mild to severe illness, they are caused by different viruses and have different symptoms and methods of transmission. It is important to understand the differences between COVID-19 and influenza in order to properly prevent and treat these illnesses. Symptoms of COVID-19 can include fever, cough, difficulty breathing, body aches, headache, fatigue, and loss of taste or smell. Symptoms of influenza can include fever, cough, sore throat, body aches, headache, fatigue, and nasal congestion. There are vaccines available to help prevent influenza, but there is currently no vaccine for COVID-19. It is important to follow guidelines from public health officials to help prevent the spread of COVID-19, such as wearing a mask, washing your hands frequently, and maintaining physical distance from others. When you have influenza, it is important to eat a healthy and balanced diet to help support your immune system and promote recovery. Some foods that may be helpful to eat when you have the flu include fruits and vegetables. These are rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, which can help support the immune system. Soup. Soup can help to provide fluids and nutrients and can be easy to swallow if you have a sore throat. Broths. Like soup, broths can help to provide fluids and nutrients and can be soothing to a sore throat. Garlic and ginger. These foods have antiviral properties and may help to boost the immune system. Eggs. Eggs are a good source of protein and other nutrients and can help to support recovery. Whole grains. Whole grains are a good source of energy and can help to keep you feeling full and satisfied. It is also important to drink plenty of fluids, such as water, broth, and electrolyte beverages, to help replace fluids lost due to fever and sweating. Avoiding caffeine and alcohol and getting plenty of rest can also be helpful when you have the flu.